made it to Boston, and it was a very, very turbulent plane ride. I almost vomited because I was getting so car sick, or I guess it's plane sick, but we're here. We slept in pretty late today, but we're gonna go spend the rest of the day on this street called Newbury Street, and apparently there's a lot of shops, and I haven't shopped in a while, so maybe we'll go some clothing shopping. And then afterwards, we're gonna head to the anime con that's happening, Boston. I think it's called Boston Anime. At night, there is a concert going on that my friend really wants to go to, so we're gonna catch that concert. And I'll take you guys along with me. Whenever I travel, I always try to travel super light. So, like, my eyeshadow palette, I don't know if you see this color, it's always my blush and my eyeshadow. Everything has a dual purpose in this kit. Like, sometimes I use my lip tint as a cheek tint. I hate traveling with a lot of stuff. I'd rather just regret not bringing something than have it with me. I don't know if that makes sense. And I know that's controversial because a lot of my friends would rather just bring everything.
Hello.
Do you want to be on the vlog?
Okay. Welcome to Boston, Massachusetts. Today we are in my four walls in my asylum. Over here we have the wall of inspiration that I look at whenever I'm working. It has all my favorite little men. And then over here is the wall I like to look at when I sleep. It has my favorite men, and they're right by my head. So I can look at them and they put me to sleep with their beautiful faces.
This is one of my oldest friends and closest friends that I have. We went to the same high school, and essentially we trauma bonded over our experience in high school, and we now know too much about each other, so we're cellmates for life. And we both really love anime and games, so that's how we bonded, and clothing and fashion. They're very fashionable person, and I am surrounded by what keeps this creature sane so that they don't bite people. I also don't have a mirror, so this vlog camera is also serving a dual purpose in my makeup kit. I decided to just go with the sunscreen base today because whenever I travel, my skin gets super dry, and whenever I put on a different layer of foundation, even if it's hydrating, completely breaks my skin out. So I'm not trying to do too much on my skin today, just so that I don't look too bloated or dead. I'm trying to limit myself with the amount of stuff I buy at the con, but I have been on a no purchasing spree. I made it a goal so willingly. But there are some things that I wanted to buy that I haven't been buying because of the tariffs and just the absurd prices that things are reaching, and the state of our economy. So I haven't been purchasing things, but I always love supporting small artists and artists in general, so I'm really excited to go to the artist alley and splurge a little bit. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about spending too much money. And people think, whenever I see people post about their spending habits and stuff like that, people take it as a moral compass in which they also apply in their own lives about spending. I am not trying to preach anything about money. I'm the last person to talk about that because I'm not a financial expert. So this is just me. And it was more so of a space of coming from oh, there was a lot of things, unnecessary things that I have in my life that are just kind of sitting there. And I don't want that to be me anymore. I wonder if she's here, do you have like a preference for the East Coast or the West Coast? Because I think I'm a through and through West Coast girly. I tried living in the East Coast. I tried living in DC. I also spent 4 years of high school on the East Coast, and I was just so miserable. I think it's because I really need the sun to survive, even in the winter, so that I don't get seasonal depression. But the East Coast, it's really dark and gloomy, and people tend to be a little bit colder on the East Coast. Like when I'm in Austin, every single store that I go into, whether it be something as big as a chain or something small like a random mom and pop shop, people always want to like converse, like whether it be people in this line next to you or the cashiers, they always want to speak and talk to you. But on the East Coast, it's very like, what do you want? Get out, get out, get out of my sight. That's not to say it's everybody, but I think that's like the generalized, I'm using my phone camera, generalized stereotype that people have. And that I've kind of experienced enough to say that, oh, it's kind of like that. So I think I am. I'm not sure if I'll ever live on the East Coast again because my partner and I really like the sun. If you can see outside, it's once I start taking you guys outside, you'll see how dark it is, because it's been raining nonstop for the past 4 days in Boston. That is a huge generalization because my friend that I'm visiting right now comes from New York, and is currently living in Boston and is very amicable. And while I'm currently living in Austin, fishies know that I'm from LA, and LA has also changed significantly since I've been a kid. LA is no longer the LA in which I grew up in. Especially Koreatown is also completely different from the Koreatown in which I grew up when I recently visited in my vlog. And that partially has to do with just the increasing number of suffering people in Los Angeles and wealth inequality. But it also has to do with, like, I think there's a lot of the people are like, oh, LA's like the city of influencers, like influencers come. But I don't think of that as real LA. Like if you live in LA, and like my friends who grew up in LA, like, and we don't think about those influencers, like they live in their little influencer bubble that they've created. And a lot of them they're not from LA. They fly from different parts of the United States. And then they make this fake LA culture, which involves Erewhon or certain Beverly Hills specific clubs or Rodeo Drive or going to Coachella. Like these things aren't the normal LA experience. And that's not to say if you like Erewhon, don't go to Erewhon. But I'm saying that as someone who grew up in LA, a lot of people are like, you go to Erewhon. I'm like, Erewhon is a very recent phenomenon, and I've never stepped in foot of a Erewhon. And if you ask any of my LA friends, I think they would say the same. It's kind of like a tourist experience. Do you have any of those types of stores in your city? I would love to know. But I do say, like, when I travel, I want to do all the touristy stuff. I want to do all of the stuff that I see on YouTube. Like, I don't care how corny or touristy it is. If I'm in the mood for it and I'm exploring a new country, like, I totally want to go. But I would never claim that as, oh, that's, for example, like, I wouldn't go to Tokyo and then go to Asakusa Jinja and be like, that's Japanese shrine experience for everyone, you know? Like, I know that there's a certain level of tourism involved. I don't know if you see, but I've been growing out my hair, and it's getting pretty long. If you see my older vlogs, or when I first started vlogging, my hair was like this short. And I'm debating on whether to keep growing it out or cutting it. And I have kind of developed a fear is such a strong dramatic word. I'll just say fear because I don't really have any other word for it. A fear of going to hair salons because my hair comes out looking different than the reference photo that I show the stylists. Or I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut too much. And then I find half of my hair cut off in the back. And then they have to cut off the rest because they already cut the back. And that's partially why I had such short hair in the beginning of the vlog, because I didn't want it cut that much, but the hairstylist kept pressuring me to like cut it. Not because it was damaged, because she said it would look better on me. I have a hard time saying no to people in like the service industry because both my parents work in the service industry. I just know how hard it is, so I don't want to give them a hard time, so I don't end up speaking up. So I guess it's partially my fault. So my hair always looks kind of different than the image that I show them. And this only happens in the States. It never happens when I'm in Korea. In Korea, if I like show them a haircut that I want, it comes out looking exactly like the haircut that I want. More often than not. I've also been like thinking a lot about personal color, and I have no clue what my personal color is. Like, if I'm a warm tone or a cool tone, if silver looks better than gold. I know that people are like, oh, personal color is a hoax. Like, there's no such thing. It's a capitalistic thing in which they make you try to buy more and more stuff. And I don't fully agree with that. I think there are colors that just objectively look better on you, and getting your personal color done is a fun way to figure out. I do think that you could turn it into like a capitalistic activity in which you're throwing your entire closet away every year because your skin tone changed. I disagree. Hello.
We are waiting on the tram. So it will be an approximately 30-minute ride from here to Newberry Street. And that ride will not have crazy people on it at all.
Chihuahua is not evil.
One must die.
Jen, read it.
The choice of exquisite life begins with simplicity and means beauty. Type shit.
Do you want?
I want to get this guy or the secret mentee one. I have 1 out of 10 chance.
You got it. I told you.
Who is this?
My husband.
Oh, is that so?
Are you ready?
Okay, Vanitas, how much are you spending today?
I'll set a hard limit for myself of $100.
So how much did you end up spending?
205.
Okay, Tignor, how much are you spending today?
I'll also spend $100.
How much did you end up spending?
94.
Yes! How much are you spending today? $120! How much did you end up spending?
How much are you spending today?
$50.
How much did you spend today? Turn the phone around. The people deserve to know. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. It could be
So that's your yacht, huh?
admiring the beautiful sight. God, hey, a calm 20 million. It was a real discount. From
Oh.
the 25 million that it was, but I sweet talked the guy.
Uh-huh.
My bigger one is actually in repairs right now because
Oh.
I crashed it
Oh.
on my 24th birthday party.
Yes. But like, can we go on right now?
Actually, no, you need to like sign an NDA, and then my guys, they need to run a background check on you.
Oh.
You need to give me your social security number.
Oh, okay.
Last 4 digits, and I need to see your ID, just
ID,
make sure,
yeah.
and all your passports.
Yes.
I can't have anyone from.